It is a new week and silver price has not been smashed down yet. It is still above $38.50 an ounce. In fact, it even went above $39 an ounce last night. But one of the big banks, likely, is trying to crush silver, trying to get the price to go much lower, and it looks like they're failing. Check out this post from Enough over on X. They put this out over the weekend. They say 483 million ounces of silver were dumped yesterday in an hour. In an effort to stop this breakout in silver, this short position is now completely underwater, which means that the bankster that sold these ounces needs to come up with physical. This sounds really good for silver, but I'm going to break this down for you and explain why it might not be 100% true.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
We're now down 43%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver IRAs. Learn more at sdbullion.com/IRA. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Today is Monday, July 14th, and I expected silver price to get absolutely slaughtered today because on Friday last week, the price went up considerably. We went over $38.50 for the first time in about 14 years, and last night silver price was actually taking off. Let's look at that chart once again. You can see it climbed all the way up to $39.12 an ounce before falling today. There is a strong dollar today that is probably playing a part in the sort of flattening out for silver. But one other thing that I noticed, if we pop back over to the top assets by market cap, you can see silver has actually moved down into the 8th spot here. It got passed up by Google last night, and Bitcoin actually did pass up Amazon for a brief moment. It's back down in the 6th spot, but Bitcoin is at a new all-time high today. It's at about $120,000 per Bitcoin, so we'll keep watching that, see if it can retake the number 5 spot. But silver moving down, it is still in the top 10 solidly. I don't see it leaving the top 10 anytime soon, and I think it probably could keep climbing the ladder if the breakout continues. One other headline I wanted to point out here, silver hits new euro record as Trump tariffs whack EU and Mexico. So the Trump tariffs are back on the table. Looks like they're going to be expanding, but silver has now hit a new all-time high if you price it in euros. So last Friday we saw that it hit a new all-time high in the Indian rupee. It has now hit an all-time high in the euros, but when will it hit a new all-time high in dollars? We got to go up like 10 more dollars to get there. Could it happen in the near future? It certainly could. But let's get to the main story here. It's the post by Enough over on X, and we'll just recap it one more time here. So 483 million ounces of silver were dumped yesterday, and they post this on Saturday, so obviously they're talking about Friday, in an hour. In an effort to stop this breakout in silver, this short position is now completely underwater, which means that the bankster that sold those ounces needs to come up with physical. So what exactly do they mean here? Well, you can see on the chart 483 million ounces of silver were sold within an hour. Of course, they're talking about paper silver, not real physical silver here. And this definitely was an effort to stop the breakout. I guess one of these big banks obviously has a big short position on silver, and they don't want to see the price continuing to climb higher. Now, which big bank? Could it be Wells Fargo? Could it be JP Morgan? I have no idea. I'm thinking it's probably JP Morgan, but who knows? Either way, the fact of the matter is they probably are not going to need to come up with physical, and I'll talk about why in a second, but first let's finish their post here. They say, and since 483 million ounces is 57% of the world annual mine production, I'm assuming there is no physical silver to back this position. This amount is not available for sale anywhere. Stuff is about to hit the fan. And they probably would be right. Things would be taking off if these big banks had to play by the rules, but they don't. In fact, they can sell settle for cash. We've seen this happen time and time again with the COMEX, and they don't have to have any physical silver to go either way, long or short on silver. And, if we look at JP Morgan, they do have like 300 million ounces or something supposedly in their vaults. So maybe they could cover some of this if they needed to, but they're not going to need to. They can simply settle in cash. If they did have to go buy the physical silver, obviously this would be a big deal. The price would skyrocket. General Fluffy Pillows got it right. They will just give out cash payments instead of physical silver. So there you go. Andy Oz II has it right as well. He says it is underwater, but they don't have to come up with physical COMEX rules, or they can simply demand the settlement as cash transfer, which is done most of the time, especially in 2011. In 1980, they changed the COMEX rules to sell only and screwed the Hunts. Yes, the Hunt brothers, they were buying up lots of silver. They changed it to sell only, and it crashed the price of silver on Silver Thursday back in 1980. Is that going to happen again? It's definitely not going to happen again, but they're not going to have to buy massive amounts of silver to cover this position. They just don't have to do that anymore. And then when you see things like the paper to silver ratio, 363 to 1, this is how many ounces of paper silver are being traded compared to how many ounces of actual silver are being mined in 1 year. You start to realize the system is rigged. The system is rigged. It simply is. It is the way that the system was set up, and silver can't really explode higher when stuff like this happens. Although that being said, we have seen silver triple in value since COVID. So obviously, if you were buying silver back then, you're very happy with the price now over $38 an ounce. But is it going to go to $50 overnight because something like this happens? No, that's not the case. I gotta say though, I expected silver to get absolutely crushed today, and the fact that it's only down 1 cent at the moment, that definitely says something. I mean, the dollar has gone up quite a bit today, and with a strong dollar, I'm expecting gold to go down, silver to go down, probably even Bitcoin to go down. Cryptos, they're not though. They're going up right now. The stock market is going up, which is one of the reasons why Google passed up silver on that chart that I showed earlier. But yeah, strong dollar, I'm expecting silver to get crushed. It didn't. So that says something right there. This is giving me some hope for silver. Let's look at the year to date. Remember, silver started off the year under $29 an ounce. So we're up almost $10 for the year already, and I certainly have high hopes moving forward with everything going on with the tariffs, not to mention the fact that the Fed is probably going to be cutting rates at some point later this year. So lots of good stuff on the horizon for silver. I definitely still think it's a great buy. I'm still buying more, but let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.